Thank you for tuning in to another edition of Easy, but Not So Easy. And today, we're going to talk about schools and scholarships. Now, when I say schools and scholarships, I'm talking invariably about your high school, of course, your high school, and getting you ready for your scholarships. Now, let me make this point abundantly clear. I am not knocking schools. For those people who are sitting out here and asking yourself the question, oh my gosh, he's about to slam, schools. No. That is not what I'm trying to say. I need you to understand, what do I mean by this? What I mean by is that a lot of times when kids are at the point and loved ones are trying to help their kids identify resources to pay for their college education, school and the school resources, the guidance counselor and the teachers are usually the first place that you want to look, in addition to the internet. But there are some easy and not so easy aspects of what that may mean. And so let's go ahead and get to it. First, let's talk about the easy. First of all, recognize schools are your best source. The guidance counselor is the best source. Scholarships, especially third-party scholarships, know that their gateways to get to the largest number of students the fastest is through the schools. They know this. So these people are inundated with information about scholarships on a regular basis. And the schools that have a great guidance counselor or type of educational system that's a support system that basically funnels this information out, they are always open to the reality that, okay, you're trying to connect students, scholarships to kids, that's what we're here for. And so the best source is usually these academic institutions, which then leads me to my second point. They're familiar with students. Again, not only are these schools an active place for where these scholarships can actually engage and get contact with students, these people, these guidance counselors and the teachers, they've been with the kids and especially the high school ranks, they've been with them for 3 years. So they know they not only have seen their grades, they've seen how they engage. They've seen the extracurriculars. They've seen the sports. So they're in a great place to be able to connect one group in terms of scholarships with a prospective student. And here's the third and the best part. They're easy accessible. They're easiest to access, meaning in most instances, kids can just come out there off the streets. I hate to say it like they're hanging outside, but they can go and engage these resources that are available in the schools, because those schools' resources are there for the sole purpose of being accessible to the students. So when you're thinking about educating, the financing the education of your kids going forward, those are the things that you should think about. So let's kind of go to the not so easy point. The first thing is they may not know you. One of the things that is sometimes one of the things that we often sometimes lose sight of the fact is that these guidance counselors, depending on the size of the schools, there's no way for them to know all the kids. And there really isn't. And even if it's not the guidance counselor, maybe it's teachers who can kind of point students in the direction of the guidance counselor, or maybe the guidance counselors work with various teachers. It's a good possibility that if your kid or your child is not very outgoing, they've only been in a few things, or maybe the things they're actively involved in are not on the campus itself, it's very possible that there may be scholarships that these people have access to, and because they have access to them, they may not realize that your child is somebody who's best suited for the scholarship. So that's the first thing. And which brings me to the second part. Because they don't know you, they may not necessarily know what you want. If you have an interest in going into the military and you want to go to a service academy, or you want to go on ROTC scholarship, but you haven't communicated or done anything to let people in your immediate orbit know that that's what you want, then how are they going to connect you to the scholarships that can get you there? So what ends up happening is that, again, kind of going back to they don't know you. Well, it's also they're not aware of what your interests are in terms of what you're trying to do for the future. Which brings me to the third part and the most harmful part, and the not so easy part, is that they may not always be as accessible as you think. What do I mean? It's not that I mean, and this is going to sound weird, it's not that I'm saying that they don't have the same access, but this is the way I say it. If the students don't know that coming to the guidance counselor is a source of opportunities for them to get scholarships, if they don't know that there are people in there who are tracking and paying attention to the academic performance of students, then the access means nothing because they don't really go there. So it's important to understand that if you're a student or if you have a child who's interested in going to college and they have not engaged any of their teachers or engaged any of the guidance counselor or engaged anyone who could give them access to this information, the fact that they have access means nothing because they won't know that they have access to begin with. Which brings me to my final point of today. When you're talking to young people about preparing for their future, give them as many resources as possible. Whether it be encouraging them to go to the library, going online, going to their guidance counselor, going to their favorite teacher. Encourage them as much as you possibly can to avail themselves of every resource that's available to them. Because the reality is that you'll be surprised how many kids still don't know what they don't know. But if you as an adult have an idea, put that information in their head so that they can make the most informed decision possible that can benefit their future. All right, everyone. As always, you know what time it is. You can always check me out on AnthonyReeves.com, and I always look forward to any comments or feedback, so please feel free to do so. But as always, I have to end my day with my favorite question of the day. Are you ready for the Anthony Reeves experience?